Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. How's everybody doing? I'm getting ready to go on my jog, but today I'm going to meet with Shadasia Green and we're going to have a conversation. So I said it's only right that I put out a video about her to kind of help lead into the conversation that's going to take place this afternoon. Now, we got to understand there has been a rise in women's boxing, and it's not about what the promoters are doing, which the promoters are doing a good job. Eddie Hearn, Jake Paul, Top Rank, and any and everyone else involved with women's boxing, Dimitri Salita, and with Claressa Shields, right? But Shadasia Green, the Sweet Terminator, her story reads like a film script. You know what I'm saying? I don't reach out. I actually haven't been the guy to really reach out to anybody to do interviews. But it has to be something compelling about you for me to want to talk to you and have a conversation. Because that's all I do. You know, is just talk, listen, and allow people to get their voice out there. But when I think about Shadasia Green, I see a mix of determination, athletic genius, and I think destiny finding her at the right time. Now, she's born and raised in New Jersey. My understanding, she grew up in a tough environment that demanded resilience. Shows up when she performs in the ring. But her natural athletic ability was evident early on. Before she ever put on a pair of boxing gloves, she was known as a superstar basketball player, dominating courts from high school through college. Her size, agility, and raw physical strength made her a standout, the kind of player coaches dreamed of building teams around. But destiny had a detour in store. Now, while her basketball career was flourishing, Shadasia, maybe she began feeling that the sport wasn't giving her the fulfillment she wanted. My understanding that she had to go work on her footwork, and I think that's how she ended up inside the boxing gym. And from there, I think the rest was history. But I think it also worked out because, was she competitive? Yeah. But deep down, from whatever sports she may have had an interest in, and basketball is the one that she was really excelling in, it just seems that, sometimes people are built for something more individual, something more raw, and you never know until you come across it. And she found boxing, again, I think it's by accident, but once she stepped into the gym, everything changed. Her transition from hardwood floors to boxing rings didn't happen overnight. But when it did, the results were jaw-dropping. People couldn't believe how quickly she adapted to the sweet science. The timing, the rhythm, the footwork, all of it clicked. For her, faster than most amateurs who spend years trying to figure it out. And when you're athletic like that, it can happen. I was reading a comment the other day where someone was like, man, Shadasia Green, she's been boxing all along. That's not her true story. I'm like, man, McNicholas, hold your horses. Don't take it to the stupid. Sometimes the people on social media are ridiculous, man. You know why Shadasia Green was able to pick up the sport of boxing? Because she's just disciplined and she's athletic and she's just a natural-born fighter. You look at Regis Prograis, Anthony Yardy. You look at a lot of these fighters out here, man, who took to the sport in their 19s and their 20s. What's his name, man? Derevinchenko. I think he took to boxing in his 20s. And look at the noise he made. So they got to stop this bull crap. If you're a fighter, you're a fighter. Fabio Wardley, about to fight Usyk. Look at when he came into boxing, in his 20s. And look where he's at. So sometimes you just have special fighters out there in the world and they just kind of, fumble into something that they probably should have been doing all along. Now, as an amateur, Shadasia didn't have hundreds of fights like most Olympians. She had little experience, of what she lacked in ring time, she made up big time in sheer athletic talent, mental toughness, and the heart of a born competitor. Coaches realized they were dealing with something special, not just a power puncher, but a woman who could think in the ring, analyze in real time, and make mid-fight adjustments. There's so many professional fighters, amateurs and stuff that they're never able to figure that out. And she was able to do it. So I'm not surprised that her amateur success led her. First, I'm not surprised that she had success in the amateurs and led her into the pros, where her evolution was rapid and undeniable. Every fight was a lesson, and she was learning faster than anyone expected. And we're going to talk about this, but what she did in there with Savannah Marshall, got to put respect on Shadasia Green's name. Because when you just look at it on paper, as far as the experience and everything that Savannah Marshall had, and then with Green going into the fight, most people knew Green had a chance. I even did videos, and at first I was like, yo, Marshall's going to destroy it. But then I did a video breaking it down saying that Shadasia Green definitely has a chance, but things have to go a certain way in order for it to work out. But I was still kind of going with Savannah Marshall. But I realized that, Shadasia Green got something special about her, and she proved it. Actually, she did exactly what I said needed to happen. Get her respect, put that bing-bings on Savannah, and once she landed them shots on Savannah, Savannah just wasn't the same. Because Savannah came out firing. Everybody thought, oh, Savannah Marshall, she was sidelined, she was inactive. No. You know what happened to Savannah Marshall? Bing, bing. Them New Jersey bing-bings hit upside the head, man. And that's what happened. But you know what else happened, man, which was monumental, is she signed with Jake Paul's MVP Promotions. And I really think that's the turning point of her career. That's just my opinion. I don't know that, but just from the outside looking in, because that's just where we are. Probably 90% of the shit we're talking about be wrong, but it's just a conversation anyway, right? But before that deal, Shadasia was known by hardcore boxing fans, no doubt about that. The ones who really follow women's boxing. People follow women's boxing a lot more now, I'll tell you that. But she wasn't yet, a household name. But MVP gave her what every fighter needs: visibility, a real platform, and someone who believed in her marketability. And no matter what you thought about Jake Paul being cartoonish because of the YouTube and the pranks and the shit he did for views, he and his brother, and how they kind of really built their platforms. Jake Paul is no longer a cartoon. Jake Paul is a serious businessman, and Jake Paul and his business partner, Nikisa Badarian, built a machine that can amplify fighters beyond just the ring. And you got to put some respect on Jake Paul's name. I call him Jizzle P. Jizzle P did not... That man could be doing anything that he wants. He took to boxing. I think it gave him a purpose. Kind of like me being a retired guy and just getting out here and talking boxing. Like, I enjoy this. And he found something he enjoys. I like running. I like working out. I love the boxing gym too. And I just think it's just been all good with Jake Paul coming into the sport. No matter what anyone may think about his fights and some of the things he says and all that, the bottom line is Jake Paul is really out here living the life. And you got to put respect on it. And he's taking care of these female fighters. I get into that. But what I'll say this. I know for a fact, the way Jake Paul's heart is made, that this man will take money out of his own pocket to make sure his female fighters are okay. And there aren't many people who will do that. That shit called altruism. Jake Paul's got it. That's why with me, I respect him so much. I'm always going to do my videos and make jokes and shit. That's just my personality. But I want to make sure that, I emphasize my respect for Jake Paul and what he's doing for women's boxing. And for Shadasia, being with Jake Paul and Nikisa and MVP, she just got, big time press coverage. Her brand started growing and skyrocketing, and her fight person started to become pretty nice. That cha-ching ching, Wu-Tang cream, dollar bill, y'all. And I just think that partnership changed her life, and she responded the only way she knows. That's just by putting on dominant performances and really wanting to prove the people who believed in her right And the people who didn't believe in her wrong, like me when I was sitting there saying, yo, I don't know if she's going to get through Savannah Marshall. But when she did, I came back because I just watching. I was like, yo, she's been working. You could tell. But at super middleweight, man, Shadasia Green has quickly become, one of the most talked about and feared women in the sport. This nickname, the Sweet Terminator, isn't just for show. She lives up to it every time she steps into the ring. She has heavy ass hands, and her hands are not slow. People stop saying that. Her hands are damn fast. But with that speed and everything else, she blends raw knockout power, and she has, a surprisingly smooth boxing rhythm. She can fight behind the jab, which if the verdict was out on Shadasia Green, that Savannah Marshall fight should tell you everything you need to know, man. She can fight behind a jab. She can go full seek and destroy, mash up, crash up, free swinging brawler. She can go into that mode if she has to. But what's most impressive is that she's not just a brawler like so many people were saying. She's a thinking puncher. She showed that, and I just think she's getting better and better there behind the scenes. And when she gets into the ring next, whoever is going to be in there with Shadasia Green, it's going to be assholes and elbows, because that's all you're going to see, because they're going to have their back to us running the opposite direction in the ring. Because Shadasia Green is bringing them Nork Bing Bings, you know what I'm saying? Her ability to cut off the ring, make the right reads, punish mistakes, has left opponents second guessing every move, man, especially about trying to go into a fight with her next. The only thing I'll say is the stamina, which is there. But if she can expand that gas tank, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, man. It's going to be a problem, because a lot of times, you know what? The power doesn't win the fight. The IQ, the brilliance, the hand speed doesn't win the fight. It's stamina. It's stamina, I'm telling you. I remember being in the ring sparring. I told a story about me getting tired. I didn't know I was going to be in there in World War III and shit. But I've also talked stories about me sparring guys and just blasting them out of there. You know what I'm saying? The first round, they come in there, on fire. Bing them. Second round, they slow down. Third round, I just run their ass up out of there. Because I had the better stamina. And some of them guys, man, could really scrap. But when they start getting tired, I'm telling you, your mind goes. For anyone who's if you've never boxed, to be inside the ring with somebody who just keeps coming at you and your ass is tired, that shit is not a good feeling. It's horrible. But for Shadasia Green, man, when she fought Savannah Marshall. Now, Savannah Marshall, known slick boxing IQ, heavy hands, worked with the Mayweathers when she first turned pro, working with the Furies. You just have to take all that into consideration before Shadasia Green went to this fight with Savannah. And many people, it wasn't just me, expected her to dominate. But that is not how the fight went. And they were trying to rob Shadasia Green too. So I recognized that. I didn't like that. That annoyed me. They were trying to do Shadasia Green wrong. And I understand there's some clinching, there's some holding and stuff, but they were being foul to Shadasia. But the bottom line is Shadasia must have recognized that too, because she didn't just decide, I'm just going to be here and compete. Nah, she said, hell no, I'm gonna win this fight. And she won convincingly. Proving to everyone that she wasn't just hype. Marshall herself admitted afterward, right? And this is, you got to listen to what people say. I've never been hit that hard, ever. That means from the amateurs as a pro, when she was a little kid out there riding the horse, and the horse hit that man and kicked upside the head. She said, hell no. What was that Shadasia Green hit me with? And that says something. Now, Savannah Marshall never been kicked by a horse. She probably felt she was kicked by one when Shadasia Green landed that damn right hand on her. And I just think that's saying something, man, considering Savannah and who she's sparred and who she's fought. And for her to come out and say, I've never felt that shit matters. And that fight turned Shadasia Green from a promising contender to a global star. She's not a super middleweight unified champion, IBF and WBO. So Shadasia Green is doing the business. Now, speaking of her being, a champion, she's sitting at the top of the mountain, man. But, there's still one summit left. This Clarissa Shields, the GOAT. Clarissa Shields out there. You're a bum. Shadasia this. She say everything she want about Shadasia Green except I'm going to fight her. She did say, I have time, but the next 2-3 fights, it don't seem like Clarissa Shields want anything to do with Shadasia. But I think that fight would define everything. Clarissa Shields, if you didn't know what her accolades were from an amateur to a pro, just go pick any video that she put out, and I'm 100% sure she's talking about it in the video. From gold medals, undisputed, multiple division champion, and self-proclaimed GOAT. She can do everything. Box, move, defend, adapt. Clarissa she's a perfect fighter. Nobody ever figured her out. So, no matter what you think about her and a little bit of jabber-jawness she got going on, she is, no kidding, a badass in the ring. And nobody's ever beaten her. But every fighter has their match, and Shadasia's combination of size, power, and composure might just be that test for Clarissa Shields. You got to just look at the styles, you know what I mean? Clarissa Shields, volume-based puncher, fast hands, sharp jab, quick combinations, elite defense, knows how to tie you up, pull counters, set traps. She got endless stamina, and she has the mentality of a winner. And that what was the movie, The Fire Inside? Yo, she no kidding. That's how she is. That's what insane. She got a different type of fire burning inside of her. But this is the problem. She can burn you. You know what I'm saying? But she ain't gonna cook you. Because she's not a one-punch knockout artist. But she'll overwhelm you, and she'll coochie-coo you, she'll tickle you, she'll chicken peck you with accuracy. And that speed, but when you talk about the Sweet Terminator, Shadasia the Thing Green, that everything is the opposite. She doesn't throw as many punches, but the ones she lands, they hurt. Her timing and patience are key weapons. All that was on full display when she fought Savannah Marshall. She waits for her opponents to make mistakes, then punish them with precision power shots. Her coach up there in Newark, when I talk to her, I'm going to find out if she's still working with him. Whoever has been working with Shadasia Green, round of applause. That's all I'm going to say. Absolutely amazing, man. Absolutely amazing. Watching you, waiting for you to make mistakes, hitting you with, it's not just hitting you with precise shots, precise power shots. That hurt and changed the rhythm of the fight, the momentum of the fight, and gets things swayed in the favor of Shadasia Green. Now, if she can stay calm and not chase Shields early, learn how to cut that ring off. The least amount of steps to cut the ring off. I think she can land something big on Clarissa Shields, because Clarissa Shields wants to fight you. And her last couple of fights, Clarissa looking a little bit sloppy. But that's because I think she knows what she has in front of her, so she knows she can just go in there and basically just beat them up. But against Shadasia Green, I think she'll fight with a bit more respect and intelligence. Because make no mistake, just like we say defeating Clarissa Shields won't be easy, Clarissa Shields knows defeating Shadasia Green won't be easy too. But that's why for Shadasia Green, I want to see, how's the defense, how's the stamina. Those are the two things. The primary concern for me with Shadasia is the stamina, but the defense. Boy, if she can bring that together, I'm telling you, Shadasia Green she already is a problem. But it's going to be hard for somebody to beat her. But when it comes to Clarissa, she got one of the best gas tanks in women's boxing. She'll go in there and fight a 10-round war and finish stronger than she started. And if for Shadasia to win, she'll have to be in the best shape of her life, 100%. She can't fade. I think against Marshall, man, she got a little bit fatigued in there. But down the stretch, and this is what it says, the best fighter doesn't win. It's the fighter who boxes the best. And Clarissa Shields seems to always peak on fight night, and that's where you want your fighter to peak. But I can see Clarissa Shields down the stretch, just with the stamina, could mess around and outbox Shadasia, but I just think conditioning is everything. And Green, who has shown the discipline to improve, the team who knows what to do to help her improve, And for her to stay on course, I believe 100% her stamina and everything in her next fight is going to show great improvement. And with that improved endurance, Shadasia Green, who doesn't throw a lot of punches, you're going to see 20 to 30% more volume per round without sacrificing her power and fatiguing. And if she can do that, I'm telling you, she becomes truly dangerous for anyone, especially the GOAT, the perfect boxer, the two-time gold medalist, 19 championships, five weight divisions. She's going to become truly dangerous for Shields. And that's just a fact. And I think it's going to take all of that to beat Clarissa, because Clarissa, she got her shit together. Now, from a mental standpoint, because, you know, the psychology is very important as well. You know what I'm saying? Shadasia seems grounded. When you talk to her, you watch the interviews, Shadasia Green got her stuff together, man. Very grounded, very humble, very intelligent, man. Down to earth. That's why when I talk to her, we just going to have a conversation. You know, I'm not going to come with no bunch of notes. We're just going to talk. It's going to be organic. She's not emotional in her approach to opponents. She doesn't need to create beef to stay motivated. She just focused on legacy. And I think that's what a lot of people can learn. Sometimes your most deadly weapon is your silence. Now, one thing we know about Clarissa Shields, if her and Green were to fight, Clarissa, on the other hand, be, you know, all emotional. Talking trash, making noise. I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT. Pat, papoose, pat, pat, tell him, pat, tell him, pat. That shit gonna be crazy. And I can see Shadasia Green just laughing, like, because she seemed to be used to it. Because I've seen a couple things out there, Clarissa Shields and Shadasia humbugging each other and shit. But it just seems like Clarissa wants the rivalry. She feeds off the rivalry. She needs to have the chaos, you know what I'm saying? But I just think that can backfire against someone who's calm, focused like Shadasia Green, who's like, yeah, all right. It's like Miguel Cotto is one of those guys. You just watch Miguel Cotto. He just, he don't really say nothing. Miguel Cotto really talk no trash. He like, we will see. Get in the ring, and all of a sudden he hits you with them goddamn, them Caguas, Puerto Rico bing bings and rattle your cage. So I think the calmer fighter often lands the cleaner shots, and if Green stays mentally sharp, she can use Clarissa's aggression against her. And if she can do that, I'm just telling you, some people are going to be upset. But at the end of the day, you know, beyond the ring, the business side is just as interesting. Clarissa Shields, Shadasia Green fight could easily be one of the biggest women's boxing event history. I want to see Hannah Gabriels get back in the mix. Free Hannah Gabriels. I don't like what's going on with her. I don't like how they're treating her. I personally like her. She seemed like a great human being. I like her, just like I like Shadasia Green. You know what I'm saying? I just, you know what? If Clarissa don't want to fight Shadasia, then let's see if we can get Hannah Gabriels back in the swing of things and get Hannah Gabriels against Shadasia. But I want to see Hannah Gabriels fight. I want to see Hannah Gabriels and Shadasia Green do great in boxing. All the women, even Clarissa, I want to see her do good. But I like to see the underdog bubble up. You know what I'm saying? You got great storylines there. Even Clarissa has a great storyline. When you get these three women, Hannah, Shadasia, Clarissa, confident women, you know what I'm saying? Champions, prideful, representing, man, just in embodying everything you want to see in a champion. But for Shadasia and Clarissa, I don't know, there's different promotional camps. Jake Paul, Demetrius Salita, hopefully behind the scenes won't have a whole bunch of drama and preclude the fight from happening. But I think since Clarissa Shields, you know, signed this deal and they're looking for pay-per-view and they want to make money, I just think Clarissa Shields has to be very smart with the opponent selection. And what I mean is, you can't just come out here and pick an unknown fighter. You got to fight a Shadasia Green. You know, you got to fight maybe the franchise, a rematch with Savannah. You got to fight a Hannah Gabriels. I think those pay-per-view numbers, man, would just really break records for women's boxing. And there's just millions and millions of dollars on the table. So for Shadasia, we know it's not just about money, it's about respect. And she's just proven that women's boxing doesn't need to rely on, loud personalities and manufactured drama. Her fists do the talking. And every time she lands a right hand or that hook, fans are reminded why she's special. And she's durable. She's got grit. She's got a chin. She's a problem, man. The Sweet Terminator. Terminator X. She's the public enemy out here. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens, man. Shadasia Green's a symbol of what happens when talent meets opportunity. And with the right matchup, she can go down as one of the best to ever do it. And who would ever thought? The basketball player went in the gym to work on her, improve her footwork. Next thing you know, she put down the ball, picked up the gloves, and started putting the knock bing bings on people. And look at her now. You know what I'm saying? Styling on them. Champion. Unified. Absolutely amazing, man. Anyway, I'm about to go run. Come back. I got to do some stuff, man, with got these investments that I'm here bubbling around and shit. Got to go and take a look at that, move some money. And then I'm going to be going live at 1:30 Eastern time with Shadasia Green. So, tune in. Y'all keep cool. In the breeze.